welcome back to my channel. My name is Yaji, like Yaji, and my channel is all about saving money while traveling because let's be real, traveling can get really expensive. So if you don't have to spend any money, why would you, right? And if that sounds interesting to you, let's be internet besties and consider subscribing below. And let's get into today's video. So I'm actually feeling a little bit under the weather and I have to like cough here and there. So if my voice sounds different today, that's why. But today's video is what I do every quarter, and that is what's in my wallet. And because we're traveling this past month, I have some cards in my wallet that are normally not in my wallet because they're more like travel cards that I don't use every day. And so I wanted to share them with you. And as always, I always talk about my wallet and also my husband's wallet because we're a team, and I'm always like talking about two-player mode because two-player mode is always better than one-player mode, right? So let's talk about what's in my husband's wallet first. And because we were traveling, we carried our Amex Platinum card, and this is the Schwab version. We have the Schwab version just because we bank with Schwab. I mean, you can get the regular vanilla version if that's what you have, or if you're an investor, you could also get the Morgan Stanley version. We just like the Schwab version. It just worked out better for us at the time, and so we always like to carry that card around. And even though technically like we won't spend physically on the card because it's a travel card, so we use it mainly for like flights and hotels and such, but it's a card that we always like to take around just in case like we go to a lounge, and sometimes lounges they ask you for the platinum card as well as like priority pass card. I don't know why they can't just see it in the system of the priority pass, but sometimes they do ask for a physical card, and so we do take it around with us whenever we travel. The next card is the American Airlines Executive Card, and this card we mainly have it because of the lounge access. And if you're on the channel a lot and you've seen my other videos, you know how I feel about certain American Airlines lounges. So I don't know, maybe this year when the annual fee hits, we may or may not downgrade. I'm still thinking about it. But some lounges are great, don't get me wrong. They're like amazing. But there's some lounges out there that I'm like, I don't know if it's worth it. And because the annual fee has increased, like I remember back in the days when it was like $450, it was a little bit more manageable. But now it being $595, I'm kind of like, I don't know if it's worth $595. But we'll see if we still keep this in our wallet. But we do have it because we did travel and we used the lounges whenever we, flew American Airlines, and so that's why it's in the wallet. The next card in my husband's wallet is his Amex Brilliant card. This is a keeper card for us, even though the annual fee keeps going up as well. We are a Marriott loyalist, so we kind of need this card. Granted, there's other like lower tier cards that we have literally all of them, but the card that we carry is the Brilliant card. And we needed this card because we were staying in a couple Marriott properties this trip, and so it's always good to have like a credit card because some hotels, they may have the card on file, but some hotels, they actually require you to like insert a card in the machine for incidentals and stuff like that. So we always carry a physical Marriott card with us. And even though this card, like the annual fee has gone up multiple times, we have gotten benefits out of it. We do use all the credits that it offers. And for us being loyal to Marriott, even though like it sucks that the annual fee keeps going up, but because we get use out of it and it's kind of worth it for us, so that's why we keep this card. And going along with hotel cards, we also stayed at an IHG property, so we do have the business version of the IHG card, and this is also a keeper card for us because it does give you a free night, and we do find those free night anniversaries useful, and a lot of the times we do use them at like airport hotels. Even though they're not the nicest hotels, they are convenient. And so we do like to keep this card around. And I know it's a business card and not everyone can get a business card, but there is a personal version that is exactly the same annual fee and everything. So if you are a IHG loyalist, then I think you should look into this card because the annual fee is only $99. And I think the annual fee is a lot easier to swallow than, let's say, like the Brilliant card from Amex. The next card is also a keeper card, and that's the Amex Gold. We didn't really put a lot of like grocery spend on this, but we have put a lot of like dining spend on it, of course, because we are traveling and we are eating out. But I will say this, not every country accepts American Express like easily. They might accept it at certain restaurants and hotels, but a lot of the times smaller restaurants or coffee shops, they don't really accept American Express. And that is why we also carry the City Strata Elite card, because this is a MasterCard, and MasterCard and Visa is more readily acceptable by a lot of merchants compared to Amex, and this is 3x for dining, so it's not a 4x, but at least we're getting some sort of like multiplier in terms of like dining back, right? Instead of just like a regular 2x or 1x. And so this is also in our wallet. And overall, I think Citi has really well-rounded cards, and this is one of those cards, and it is a keeper card for us as well. And lastly, I want to talk about the Fidelity card. And if you've seen our like Q1 of 2025, which if you haven't and you're interested, I'll link it up above as well so you guys can go check it out. But this card was new to us in the year 2025, and I wanted to kind of test it out and see if it's like worth it, because normally I'm a points girly. I'm not a cashback person. Like I try to avoid cashback, and that's just a personal preference. And so this past year, I try to put as much spend as possible on this card that doesn't have a category. And I opened up my daughter's 529 at Fidelity because of this card. Otherwise, we would have opened up a Schwab just so that I can keep all the investment accounts under like one umbrella, and it's just easier to manage that way, you know? But I was like, okay, let me test it out and see how it works. And I'm not really impressed with the results, to be honest, because as you can tell, we've accumulated $1,677, and that is including the gains of the index funds. And so it's not exactly like a 5 or a 10, like it doesn't end in a 0. Instead, it ended in like 77.51, and that's probably why it's like that. So for Fidelity, you have to be spending $1,250 in order for your points to be transferred over into this account, whichever account you linked with Fidelity. And $1,250 equals $25. And I'm just gonna be like simple and deduct the $77 and go with $1,600. So in order for me to have $1,600 in my account, well, my daughter's account, I would have needed to spend $8,000. And clearly we did last year, because I did the math, and you take 1,600 divided by 25 because that's how much they give you, right? And then whatever number you get, you multiply by 1,250 because that's how much they're giving you, which ended up being $80,000, which is crazy to me because first of all, I can't believe I spent that much money. And second of all, like you only get $1,600 from spending $80,000. Like what? If I took that money and used it on like a points card, you know, and like all the welcome bonuses I would be getting, or even like any like 4% cashback even card, which I'm eyeing the Amex Bitcoin, and there's still some like Chase cards I want to get before I get the Amex card because I don't want to be locked out of Chase, you know, with the whole 524. So I'm still like eyeing it there. But I think I'm gonna switch over to the Amex because it gives you 4% cash back. And yes, I know it's with Coinbase, and so it's like Bitcoin and or any other like crypto that you want to buy, but I'm just saying Bitcoin in general because you know that's kind of like the gold standard, right? Anyway, so even investing that money into like another card, I would have gotten so much money back. And so for sure, when the time comes, I think I'm going to switch over. And then the biggest thing about this card is that you have to accumulate points. So 1,250 equals 2,500 points. Like you have to hit the points 2,500 before it'll transfer over like $25 into your account. So let's say you spent $1,100. Well, that doesn't add up to 2,500 points. And so you're not going to get your $25. So that's another thing that kind of annoys me. Like I want it to be like right away, whatever I spend, I want it to like move over, but it doesn't work like that. So as much as I think the card is like valuable because you know you are saving for the future, but I just think that 2% in this day and age, it's just not enough. Like I just want something more. But one of the benefits of this card, I do think, is that it doesn't have any foreign transaction fees, so you could take this card abroad and not worry about any of that, which I do think is a nice touch because most cashback cards are for domestic use. They don't have any like international perks or anything like that. So I think Fidelity did a good job in that sense. Now moving on to my wallet, I have 2 Freedom Flexes in my card. One's my husband's and one's mine. And because of the rotating categories, we max them out pretty often, and that's why they're always in my wallet. Normally, I'm happy with the categories that they give, but honestly speaking, last quarter and this quarter, I'm not like the happiest, just because last quarter, the PayPal category only applied in December. And I'm like, oh, that's so stupid because like Black Friday is end of November. So any purchase you make in November through PayPal doesn't go through. And I totally forgot about that. And so I did make a couple purchases on these cards thinking I'm gonna get 5x. Well, no, I didn't. And that's a bummer. And so I had to wait until December to put spend on the PayPal category to get that 5x. So I didn't didn't really like Chase doing that. This quarter, the categories are dining, Norwegian cruises, and the American Heart Association. And let's be honest, most people are not going to be putting spend on cruising or the American Heart Association. I'm just saying, like, the categories, I'm like, what the heck, Chase? Like, what are you doing? Like, the dining, I do like because you have the Freedom Flex. It's 7% because the Freedom Flex already gives you a dining category. And so if you have the Flex card, then you get 7x instead of the regular 5x. And I say X because I'm assuming that you have like a higher tier Chase card here to move over your like cash back to like the points side. Even dining, as much as I like it, I'm like, who's gonna spend $1,500 just on dining? Like, I guess if you're thinking long term, like you could technically go buy gift cards from the restaurants that you like, but I don't know. I mean, $1,500 is a lot. Like, it's gonna take you a while to like eat that much food, right? If you're just thinking your immediate family. I mean, I guess if you're like always going out with your coworkers, or if you have a big family, maybe 1,500 goes by quickly. I don't know. But my family, it's literally just my husband and I and our daughter, so we don't eat that much. So 1,500, yeah, we're not maxing that out. I wish they had like Amazon or even like supermarket category. I like the supermarket category because you can buy like Amazon gift cards or whatever you need from the supermarket, and you can kind of use it as like regular like money from Amazon, like to shop or whatever, right? And Amazon, of course, if you just buy directly their gift cards from them, you can shop pretty much anything on Amazon, and I like that flexibility. Dining, there really isn't much you can do other than eat out. So I'm like, whatever. This quarter, we're not maxing it out at all, but they're still in my wallet regardless. The next card in my wallet is my Amex Gold. This is the rose gold version. We're a big Amex family, so we do use up all the credits that the gold card gives us. So it ends up working out for both my husband and I. I mean, I could technically be a authorized user under my account and save the annual fee on the gold card. But at the same time, I'm like, the credits that we get from Amex, we do use them. So I'm like, I guess it's okay for me to keep my card as well. That was like my thinking. But long term, if they do keep changing things, I may, downgrade my card or something to the green card, since Chase Sapphire Reserve got rid of the travel category. And so now the Amex Green is like the only option for 3x on travel. So the green card might come in handy. So it's not like I'm going to lose anything by downgrading. But if they do continue to raise the annual fee, then I may have to do that and then just become an authorized user under my husband, because having multiple like high-end cards like this, the annual fee really does add up. And so sometimes I'm like, even though I use those credits, I just don't necessarily want to be paying the high annual fee, if that makes sense. So I'm still thinking about it. But as of now, I also have the gold card. The next card in my wallet is my Venture X card. This is my ride or die. If you have been in the channel for a long time, you know I love this card. I hope they never get rid of this card. I hope they don't increase the annual fee on this card. I mean, I know one day they will, because everyone does, right? But as of now, this is a great card. It's a keeper card. It just works out for me. So I love this card. And because it's a travel card as well, even though it's like 2x on everything, it doesn't have any foreign transaction fees as well. So I like to take this with me wherever I go and, don't get hit with any of the fees. And the next card in my wallet is my Chase Boundless card. As mentioned, because we are Marriott loyalists, my husband has his sets of cards. I have my sets of cards, but this is just a card that I decided to take with me this trip around, because one of the hotels we stayed under my name with like the free night credit that it gives me. And so I decided to take this card with me. And honestly, like when you're traveling, it doesn't matter which Bombway card you take, because they all earn the same multiplier, because it goes by status. So it doesn't matter what card you hold. If you have a status, and like as long as the system recognizes that, then it doesn't matter which card you carry. But yeah, this is just the card that I decided to take with me because, like I said, free night. And the last card in my wallet is technically my husband's card, and that's the Schwab debit card. And my husband doesn't like carrying a lot of cards, and so like I have to carry this card for him and like manage card situations for him, because he forgets which cards to use and stuff like that. And OMG, side note, but this past trip, my husband forgot to take our passports to the airport, like literally forgot. He left his backpack at home, and we had to ask one of our neighbors to literally drive all the way to DFW. Like, oh my gosh, it was like so much drama and stress, because like you're there and you're like, oh my gosh, we can't check in, right? But thankfully the flight got delayed. But I mean, we didn't know at the time that it was going to be delayed, right? So everything worked out. We got our passports. We were able to fly. But anyway, that was just whew, a lot of drama there. But we like to carry this card whenever we go abroad because this card will refund any ATM fees. So anytime you need to pull out like local cash, those ATMs, like they charge a lot of money. And it's nice because this one will refund it to you wherever you are in the world. And it's a debit card and it's not a credit card. So it's not going to hurt your credit history if you do decide to get this card. But you do need to be investing with Schwab, even if it's like $1 in your account, in order to get this card. And we're a type of people that don't like to travel with cash. We always carry like our cards. And yes, to tip and stuff like that, we will pull out a little bit of money, but we just don't like carrying cash. We don't feel comfortable carrying cash. And so we try to minimize that. And therefore, like this card is a keeper card. We take this everywhere with us whenever we travel. And there you have it. Those were the cards in my husband's wallet and my wallet this past quarter. This quarter, things will change because, you know, we're back in the US and we're like doing life. So some of the same cards that we use in other quarters, like from past year, is going to come rotating back into our wallets. But so far, the card situation that we have worked out overall. And we are pretty happy with the card setup that we have, other than the Fidelity card. I'm still thinking about that. But anyway, I hope you guys found this video helpful and informative. And if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe down below. And I'll see you guys next time with a different video. Bye!